the portrait and memorial for Abraham Lincoln. Here's a whole section to presidential funerals. Oh, and right off the bat, they have a whole section on Abraham Lincoln. How cool is that? These are all the different photos of Abraham Lincoln. Wow. That's President Abraham Lincoln through the years. Wow. Check this out. These are the pennies of Abraham Lincoln. There's pennies from all different years. But what the coolest thing is they made Abraham Lincoln's face out of pennies. I know there's a bit of a glare. Let's see if we can get a little less glare out of it. But that is so unique. Wow. What do you think, Ray, on that?
Yeah, that's cool.
That is pretty cool. There's stuff about Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation, which is so important for American history. Oh, there you tap in stamps. Alright, they have a whole section on Abraham Lincoln and his funeral. Wow. It's a flag remnant from his funeral train. Wow. A replica of Abraham Lincoln's death mask. Lincoln's tomb. And this is a replica of the coffin? And a little bit about the funeral and the process. Wow. This is a replica of them taking Lincoln's casket for burial from the train that traveled across the country. So here's the map that shows how Lincoln traveled across the country, and the bold black line on here, and traveling from DC all the way out to Springfield, Illinois. Presidential funeral hearse. So whose hearse was this? Who was this used for? This 2003 Cadillac masterpiece was used for the President Ronald Reagan funeral and the President Gerald R. Ford funeral. Wow, some history in this automobile, huh? Two presidents were traveled in this and were laid to rest. Wow. So they have a section here for Gerald R. Ford as well, for some of the presidential memorabilia when he went to school and the wreath that laid by him. There's a whole section about Gerald R. Ford and stuff from the funeral service. These are what the chaplains wore when they were singing and performing services. Oh. George and Barbara Bush. Oh, this is really nice. Oh, look at those socks. So this is a memorial for Barbara Bush. And for George H.W. Oh, and there's his dog that was there for the funeral. Yeah, he's very cute, huh?
I think his name is Sully.
His name was Sully?
Yes.
So this is showing the train and when they carried George H.W. Bush through town, through Houston, and he went through Old Town Spring, which we did an episode on, and I was lucky enough to be able to see Air Force One taking off from Ellington Field in the southern part of Houston when they were taking him to rest in the rotunda at the Capitol. So that was a really neat experience.
There's a map of where the train went.
Oh, it's a train route. They took him up to College Station on there next. Oh, this is a really neat exhibit. Here's the model of the train that took George H.W. Bush to his resting place at College Station. So they have a series of newspapers and items from various presidents and from some of their funerals. Here's President Garfield's funeral march paperwork, and there's his memorial service. Wow. The history here. Baltimore Daily News. They have old newspapers. Pictures from the funeral of McKinley. From Roosevelt. Wow. Look at that. And from President Roosevelt's funeral. So much history in here. And we've only gone, I don't know, how far we've gone, like 30 or 40 feet?
When I walk out here, I can see.
You can still see the entrance, right? This is amazing. Oh, Harper's Ferry. Here's stuff on. I don't know whose funeral. Is this still? Oh, this is Grant. President Ulysses S. Grant's funeral information. Oh, and there's the sheet from his funeral. Wow. History. Yeah, let me just see. Here's President Nixon's. And President Johnson. So here they have information on former President Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, and President Warren G. Harding. And the original newspapers. Here's part of the Ronald Reagan exhibit. Memorial card. Different things from the funeral. And there's the announcement about the death of Ronald Reagan. And they have some information about Ronald Reagan and a replica of his casket. And here's some things on Ronald Reagan and a tribute that they did for him. The Ronald Reagan Centennial Celebration. Ray, what did you find over here?
I found a bunch of stuff on George Washington.
About the George Washington's funeral. Oh, it's a newspaper clipping. Wow. And like, here's a copy of George Washington's funeral eulogy. Wow. How cool is that? I'm not sure what this is. This is JFK. A diorama of John F. Kennedy's procession. Here's a replica of the casket and how they displayed JFK in his casket. And a little bit about the president. So it's neat at each of these stops, they talk about their funeral, but they also talk about a bit about the history of the presidents as well. This is a very well done exhibit. And this is the original newspaper and their iconic scene. So this is pretty unique. This is the original JFK Eternal Flame torch that was on his gravesite from 1967 and 1998. And it's here in the museum.